Public service announcement brought to you by the Illinois Department of Public Health, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Celebrate 100 years of high-flying dunks, 100 years of show-stopping moves, and 100 years of changing the game. Bring the whole family and be part of a legacy that never stops. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
Welcome back to A Political Talk Show here on WRMN. My name is Dennis Green. I've got my good friend, Mr. David Tees, here with us. We're going to talk about some of the headlines and things that are happening around the world today. But one of them was the AI slop has finally infiltrated the White House. Well, maybe not finally. Maybe continues to infiltrate the White House. We got a AI-generated video that came out and was reposted by the president. And I hate these. I absolutely hate these news article ones that are where they'll throw a talking head in the corner. Yeah. And then they'll throw like an AI-generated bit, and then they'll just loop the people, and then they'll just throw AI-generated voices over everything. And it's terrible. It's a gross video, and honestly, if I was in the video, I would know that it was not real, right? Because it's my voice, you know. So I don't know why. Either way, our president shared this. It shared, and this is one of those things that's a blind spot. So if you're one of those people that doesn't really follow the news or doesn't really expand out from maybe your own echo chamber, and I don't blame you. It's scary out there for things that aren't yours. I mean, honestly, I don't read the Crooks and Liars, which is an incredibly left-leaning, like super left-leaning side. Raw Story is about as far as I go. Huffington Post, maybe. But on that same vein, there's no reason to not just at least dip your toe a little bit. There's been almost 60 different articles written about this, and only 8% of them came from the right-hand side, and that was a French right-wing side of things. But here's what happened. Donald Trump shared a now-deleted AI-generated video on Truth Social promoting imaginary med beds that purportedly heal all injuries, claiming that they would heal all injuries for Americans. The video, resembling a Fox News segment, falsely stated that all Americans would receive a med bed card, allowing access to new hospitals with this technology. QAnon adherents believe in the existence of med beds, claiming that they cure any disease, while discussions have arisen about conspiracy theories regarding powerful figures withholding this healing technology from the public. Polls indicate growing concerns about Trump's cognitive state, with 34% of voters believing his age and health limit his ability to serve as president. Is this a mistake? Is this a, hey, I like the thing with no context? Why did we get this post?
AI, probably. If it's not real.
Mm-hmm. But why do we get the president reposting it?
I didn't know if he reposted. I'd never really seen it, to be honest with you. I try to stay away from it.
He brought it down, but he
brought it down, but reposting it. Well, sometimes if things are pointed towards you to make you look good, people kind of like that. Ego takes over sometimes with anybody, no matter who you are. I know people that for a fine example, you get voted as a president of an HOA association. your head blows up, and your ego is so big, and you're marching around and trotting and yelling at people. But that's what happens. It happens in politics on both sides of the party. I think it is a big ego thing for everybody. If it's HOAs, to the president, the Senate, the Congress, to Kane County Board, the city councils. I mean, yeah, egos, I think, just blind people as to what their purpose in life is to do.
Well, I could see that there. Thanks for your insight, Mr. Tease. We're going to hit a commercial break, but when we come back...
Westerberg on 1410 WRMN. Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Cintas. The U.S. economy grew faster than previously estimated in the second quarter amid strong consumer spending and business investment. The economy notched the fastest growth pace in nearly 2 years during the quarter. According to Reuters, the economy's resilience was underscored by data showing strong demand by business for equipment in August, driven by an AI spending boom and a drop in first-time applications for state unemployment benefits. Starbucks will lay off workers and close stores as part of a $1 billion restructuring plan, according to its CEO. The company will slash 900 employees in non-retail roles across North America. The store closures will amount to a roughly 1% decline in the total number of Starbucks locations in North America in the fiscal year, after accounting for some store openings. Shares of Starbucks ticked slightly higher in pre-market trading after the announcement early Thursday morning. The company expects to end fiscal year 2025 with 18,300 store locations in the U.S. and Canada. Starbucks plans to inform employees this week at stores designated for closure. Elmhurst School District 205 continues to show improvement in its chronic absenteeism rate, but upper grades still lag behind pre-pandemic times. The state tracks chronic absenteeism, the rate of students who are absent 10% or more of the days in a school year, whether excused or not. For a 180-day year, that means a student missed at least 18 days or 3.5 weeks. Since the pandemic, student absenteeism has risen across the country. For the second year, 6% of Elmhurst elementary schools were chronically absent. That's down from 10.4% 3 years ago and 6.1% the year before the pandemic. A car was found submerged in Lake Osborne during a training exercise in Naperville Thursday. As of 1:30 p.m., there was a large police presence in the area. The lake is located near the intersection of Ogden and Aurora Avenues by Fire Station Number 7. City officials said there is not a threat to the public, and more information will be shared once available. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Progressive's Teen Driver Discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver Discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400, and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, sunny with a high near 88, with temperatures falling to around 84. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 58. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 80, with temperatures falling to around 76 in the afternoon. Currently, it is 87 with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Find what you love, love what you find. A total wine and more. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Back to a political talk show here on WRMN. Those of you sitting on the YouTube side got to see our cameras on the whole time. Appreciate you being here, Mr. David Tees. Thank you.
I always like being here with you. It's a fun show.
We got a blind spot as well. We just did one for the people on the red side, blind spot for them. Let's do a blind spot for the people on the blue. The Daily Beast is the only one that reported this, probably out of anger, though, less about just reporting the news. So this is, again, there's only 13 articles about this one, but the majority of them are 73% on the right-hand side. And this is how Senator John Fetterman stated he will not switch parties and aims to be an independent voice within the Democratic Party, as he told Fox News host Maria Bartiromo. Fetterman criticized extreme political rhetoric, saying that calling opponents Nazis or fascists is part of the problem in the party. He emphasized the importance of principle.
Not knowledgeable of what he did. He came from a very, very, very small town, not a lot of people into it. And, then he ended up in a hospital for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a stroke.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But after he came out of the hospital, he was a totally different guy. He was more common sense and believed in what was right for the people. And when he did voice his opinion on stuff, people didn't like it on his party. But good for him. It's like the Democrats in Kane County Board. They're starting to reason, both sides, realizing that, hey, we're here to do a job for the taxpayers. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Kudos. We have to start working on both sides of the aisle. 60 Minutes last night did one of a really interesting, eye-opening interview with the governor of Utah, where Charlie Kirk was shot.
Yeah.
And he's going around with other governors that are Democrats and doing commercials with them about coming together, becoming one. Because he made a very interesting point. The White House, the Senate, Congress, they're all about bills and laws and taxes and all that stuff. But governors in each state have to worry about the people in their state. Mm-hmm. They're more of a people politician, okay? And like I forgot which state she was. She was a Democrat. And him were on 60 Minutes, and they said, she's for abortions, I'm against it. But we all believe in one thing, coming together and working. Like, for an example, we're trying to create a program for single moms. Mm-hmm. And they were both for that program. But that's unity on both sides. You could have your beliefs, but you could put them aside to help people out. And that's what it is, because he's right. Governors have to have results in their states. Mm-hmm. Washington has to have results for the nation.
And Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah, he has been almost at the forefront of this talk about unity, right?
Right.
This whole, we need to tone it down. We need to stop talking about how we hate our enemies. Mm-hmm. We need to stop calling each other names. We need to, and in fact, to me, he seems to be actually giving us the message that America needs, that we normally get from the federal government, right? We normally get a message of unity. We normally get a, hey, we need to tone this down. When it's coming from the federal government, I guess it has to be the governors that that step in with this. But this is the beauty of the checks and balances of the republic, not just within the branches, but also with the federalization of things too. We have state sovereignty, Fourth Article, 10th Amendment, to have that. And then we also have the federal side of things that's there. If the federal side won't tone it down and the federal side won't stop saying that they hate each other,
right,
then we've got to have governors like Spencer Cox step up and say, look, we're the next in line then.
Yeah, exactly. And he's bringing unity. He's spreading a message. You know, we're here for the people. We're here for what's good. Put that crazy bickering away, because I don't like it. Do you like it when they start bashing, you know, if a Republican's bashing a Democrat or a Democrat's bashing a Republican, but you're not paying attention about the taxpayers? Yeah. It drives me nuts.
It's craziness. And that's the thing that I have with the whole culture war stuff to begin with. Why are we wasting time passing laws about who can play in what sports?
Right.
Like, why are we wasting time with that? Like, why aren't we talking about the plethora of different things that, why aren't we talking about vegetables going up 38%, right? Over the last year? Why aren't we talking about inflation being at 2.9% right now? Why aren't we talking about unemployment in some states above 6%? Like, that's the stuff we need to be talking about, not 0.001% of people might want to play sports with a different gender. Like, why are we sitting around with things like this? So another thing that's getting me too, but it's I guess part of the culture that we have now. MSNBC panel reacts as Michael Cohen says he believes James Comey might have actually broken the law. And so this is another one of those blind spots. This is reported 82% on the right and only 18% on the left. Former FBI Director James Comey was indicted for making false statements to Congress and obstructing congressional investigation, according to the Department of Justice. Now, Michael Cohen, who has also been charged with lying to Congress, and I believe even went to jail for
he did
things.
serve time, but I think 2 years for that.
So Michael Cohen stated on MSNBC that he believes Comey likely committed a crime and will probably be found guilty. Comey claimed innocence in response to the indictment, expressing faith in the federal judicial system, and stated that he's ready for trial. He put that out on his own social medias. And Comey is scheduled to turn himself in on Friday with his arraignment set for October 9th in Alexandria Courtroom 600. So that's the blind spot on there. Another blind spot to keep talking about this is still for the left-hand side of things. This is reported 69% on the right and only 19% on the left. But you get your usual suspects of the Independent, USA Today, and Huffington Post on the left being able to kind of keep that bubble without it being a full-on silo, right? And this comes from President J.D. Vance, stated that there will certainly be more indictments during the Trump administration following the indictment of James Comey for obstruction and lying to Congress. Vice President Vance emphasized that the law, not political motivations, will guide future indictments, including that of former FBI Director James Comey. Senator John Thune expressed confidence in the judicial system to evaluate the grounds for Comey's indictment, which was related to his testimony about the investigations during the Trump administration. So they've got, J.D. Vance is saying it's not a hit list, but we've also got Michael Cohen that's saying, yeah, he'll probably get hit with it. Even just like Michael Cohen got hit with a technicality, they might hit Comey with the exact same thing.
And you know what's really sad? None of them go to prison. Nobody goes to prison except an Illinois governor. That's it. Richard Nixon didn't go to prison.
No, Michael Cohen did.
Yeah, Michael Cohen did. But Comey won't serve a day. He'll be found guilty, but probably never serve a day in jail. You know, I mean, that's just, nobody goes to jail. Nobody goes to jail anymore. Nobody's held accountable for your actions.
That's very true. I mean, that's the thing. Even with Nixon, Nixon was accused of going after his political opponents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the majority of it was the cover-up. So now this is a question that gets me with this, is a lot of times the scandal in politics is the cover-up. Yeah. It's the, I did something nefarious, but I spent 3 months covering the whole thing up and trying to cover my trails, and then one investigator found it. Is it different when the nefarious thing is out in the open and it doesn't feel like a scandal, right? Okay, so Nixon says, I need you to hack the Democrats. I need you to go after them. I need you to figure out what's happening. And then he hides the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And he's got to pay some people off with $1 million, right? So we make it a scandal because Nixon made it a scandal. He tried to bury it. He tried to hide it. Same thing with Contra, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with Monica Lewinsky, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. It's when they make it a scandal, the rest of the public makes it a scandal. Now imagine a politician who does the same thing, who directs their Department of Justice to go after people, mm-hmm. who collects bribes and sends bribes to other countries. But this president does it in the open and does it through tweeting. Is this why we do not see the scandal level that we're seeing, that we once saw back in the day?
I think we see the scandal levels higher than we did back in the days. I mean, you got...
as far as the punishment and, and the consequences.
Yeah, there's no punishment. I mean, it's theatrical. Once again, we got to have these hearings and people step up and there's yelling and screaming and gavels flying everywhere. It's theatrical, but like I said, this is. I think these scandals have stepped up more than they ever have. Russia, you know, and each I don't care. Each administration will spy on their opponents, and each of them will try to get them indicted and have hit lists. It goes on both sides of the fence. That's the villain part of the movie. Mm-hmm. You know, you got the good side where you help the country. Now you're attacking the people. You know, it's like I said, it's so theatrical. It gets sickening.
Have we gotten to the point now where it's just no hope of it never being any different than that? It's just, that's where the way the parties are. That's the way the politicians are. Well, they're all that bad. Oh, they're all that terrible.
It seems like it's gotten worse and more extreme. Mm-hmm. Doesn't it seem like today?
How do we turn it around?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how we're going to fix this, because it just seems like, and the American voters are getting tired of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's like watching.
I am. It's been my entire life.
Spend your time doing what you're supposed to do instead of attacking people or just having scandals. I mean, why? Why do you got to do it? Do your job. I mean, if I was elected as Kane County Board, one of the things I was asked, what would you do different? Not raise my own taxes? That's what I would do different. Yeah. And if I was a Democrat, I would say the same thing. They should be, you're representing your own personal taxes too, buddy. You know,
I have pretty much had two presidents my entire life. I've had Obama, Biden, and I've had Trump. And that's pretty much been my entire adulthood for voting for things.
Since you got into politics.
Since even then, like I maybe got to vote for Bush once.
Okay.
Like that was it.
Because you were in the military.
That was it. Like other than that, it's been this.
Yeah.
It's been Mitch McConnell stopping everything that Obama wants to do. And it's... Okay, so to even remind it back to the Fetterman side of things, do you think now Fetterman will be the new Joe Manchin for the Democrats, where they turn around and they promise all of this stuff, they get everything going, and they go, oh, shucks, darn it, oh, we just can't seem to get nothing done because of that old Joe Manchin. Yeah. Oh, if we just had one more vote and it wasn't the Joe Manchin or the Christian Cinema. Now that Joe Manchin's out, is Fetterman the new Democrats' Well, somebody's got to vote no.
Yeah,
so that
you're exactly right.
we all want to vote no, but somebody's got to vote no so that it doesn't get passed.
Oh,
is this the new guy?
Yeah, I think it is. I don't think he's going to say somebody's got to vote no. I think he's more realistic that this is stupid. I'm not going to vote for this.
No, is this the new Joe Lieberman?
Yeah.
Right? Same. Is this the new Gorsuch? Like, do you know what I mean? Is this the new guy that everybody gets to say, it's all amazing, we would love steak and ice cream on Fridays. We all voted for steak and ice cream, except for Fetterman. Oh, now we can't have steak and ice cream, but I voted for it. I want to get it for you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fetterman. Thanks for bailing us all out.
Yeah.
Is this the new guy?
Yeah.
And essentially, is that what he's planting down with this when he says he's not going to switch parties?
Yeah. I think he's doing the right thing, staying independent, having an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
We all want what's right. We all want to fight against what's wrong. And I think that's the way he is. But I think, you're exactly right. He's going to be the guy that probably the votes come down to.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we need 60 to get the thing. Oh, but Fetterman, no, we only got 59. Dang.
Yeah, he didn't let it pass. Blame him.
I know we'd really like to get that good thing that you all voted for, and we said we were going to give it to you.
No ice cream on Fridays, broccoli now.
See, that's what I mean. That has been my entire adulthood.
Right.
Has been promise. From you want to talk about both sidesism? That's the thing that both sides absolutely do is promise and then continue to kick the can down the road.
And you know what they'll do? They'll probably have somebody run against them and fund of money in there to get rid of that sensible guy. Like what happened to Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot got pushed out of her spot because she did something sensible during the George Floyd riots.
Yep.
She didn't have the heart to allow that looting and rioting going on downtown Chicago. And she raised the drawbridge. She put the snowplows and garbage trucks around the downtown businesses. She protected the businesses. They didn't like that. The Democrat machine didn't like that. And boy, they made sure she was not reelected. And unfortunately, she played the system first when she was running against Jerwico. I'm not gonna be the Chicago politician and be a part of the Democratic machine. I'm gonna take care of the city. And then she became the Democratic machine. But then when that George Floyd issue and they were tearing it all up, she had a heart. She had a conscience. I can't let this happen. And she did it. And she paid the ultimate price for it.
And that's the problem with our division, right? If somebody tries to reach across the aisle, they get their hand chopped off.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you're right.
So I don't think we've got enough time to go to a break, but I did want to bring up one thing. There was a few other elections that happened here. The newest person to be brought in, Democrat Aldita Garvalja, actually won the special election. Hey, Rob, it's good to see you. Won the actual special election for Southern Arizona for the congressional seat.
Oh, okay.
And so, let me butcher her name one more
Republican
time.
or Democrat?
This is a Democrat who won 40% over. Craziness, landslide type of thing. It was last Tuesday. Yeah. So, Aldita Jalva, Gerjalva. She was has finally gotten in, but the Speaker of the House has not sworn her in because she has said she is the last vote to get the Epstein Files bill brought to the floor. So the Speaker of the House has delayed swearing her in because that would then start the clock for getting this bill that Ro Khanna and I believe it was Thomas Massey have been trying to get to the floor about releasing all of the Epstein files. Is this just, hey, sorry, we can't get the paperwork ready for you to swear you in, or is this a deliberate stall tactic of not getting another Democrat vote to the House?
It's a stall tactic.
Yeah.
It's a definite stall tactic. But, we all want to see these files. My Lord.
Well, so according to the Republicans, they want to see these files too.
Yeah, everybody wants.
According to what they say, at least, not necessarily what we've been seeing.
Yeah, this is the $1 million question. What's on that? What's going on with that? And this is what the world wants to see. And if they do come on out with this, you'll get more faith and trust into government that you're willing to show what was wrong.
I think that's the problem. Is will you sacrifice faith and trust of yourself because you're in those files for the sacrifice for the trust in the government? See, this has always been the crux of what we're getting here with this both sidesism and things like that with it, is this whole, the reason that we have both sides is because we're not choosing America. We're not actually making America first. We're making our party first, or we're making our nationality first, or the way that we want the world to be first. It's almost like people are excusing bad parts of anything,
right?
Because, well, it'll be my team that wins, and it'll be a great place for my grandchildren to grow up on, and they'll never have to deal with the evils that we had to deal with over here, because it just, you could justify it as many different ways as you want to. It just, I don't know. To have it so blatant in our face, man, it just,
I know.
That's the problem I have with it. At least back in the day, they were nice enough to hide it, you know? Spray a little potpourri before you leave the bathroom.
Well, you know, America wants to know 3 main topics, I believe, that's been plaguing us for 100 years, I would say. Number one, did John F. Kennedy files, the Epstein files, and are UFOs real?
Yeah.
I mean, those are the 3 questions we all have on our minds. We're, you know, I mean, Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster is like way back there in the list, you know. But yeah,
UFOs being real, they've come out a few times that say these unidentified objects or things like that. Right. They haven't flat out said, "Hey, we got somebody like here. Would you like to meet them?" Like they haven't gone that far, but they've definitely tried to distract us with a few things over here, including Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, but actually, they think they found her plane.
Yeah, they're releasing, I guess, some files of Amelia Earhart to see where she's been for so long.
Oh no, you see the expose? I
haven't yet. No,
they found her plane.
Wow.
Well, they found parts of the stuff. It's on an island, and since they have high winds and sands had buried it, and they've been looking for it. I forgot where it was at. Elliot talked about it on the show, and then I looked it all up. But if you look it up, they have actually literally found a plane, and it's. Oh, which university? That's Purdue, because she went to University of Purdue.
They've been looking for a while then.
Yeah, and they have actually, it looks like it's a done deal. They're going to go there and start digging stuff up.
Wow, that's amazing. Speaking of digging stuff up and bodies and mysteries, well, of course, we've got Rob Russell coming in with us here at the next hour. Rob Russell served as Kane County Coroner from December of 2012 until December of 2024, completing 3 terms in office. During his tenure, he is credited for rebuilding the coroner's office, securing resources for a new facility, and achieving accreditation from the International Association of Coroners and Medical Examiners. That's a first in Illinois. So stick around. We'll be talking with him and his goals. While we're on break, why don't you check out russellforsheriff.com. This is a political talk show. We'll be right back after this.
If your idea of therapy involves a fishing rod, a tree stand, or a campfire, then you need American Outdoors Radio. Host John Cruz speaks your language, whether it's about the best lures, tracking game, or that one buddy who always forgets to bring the beer. John's got the tips to sharpen your aim, the hacks to pack lighter, and the stories to keep you entertained. Again, that's American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz. Saturdays at 7 a.m. on WRMN 1410. Or stream it at WRMN1410.com. Get ready to outfish, outhunt, and outcamp them all on American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 5 o'clock.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Centos. Elmhurst School District 205 continues to show improvement in its chronic absenteeism rate, but upper grades still lag behind pre-pandemic times. The state tracks chronic absenteeism, the rate of students who are absent 10% or more of the days in a school year, whether excused or not. For a 180-day year, that means a student missed at least 18 days or 3.5 weeks. Since the pandemic, student absenteeism has risen across the country. For the second year, 6% of Elmhurst elementary schools were chronically absent. That's down from 10.4% 3 years ago and 6.1% the year before the pandemic. A car was found submerged in Lake Osborne during a training exercise in Naperville Thursday. As of 1:30 p.m., there was a large police presence in the area. The lake is located near the intersection of Ogden and Aurora Avenues by Fire Station number 7. City officials said there is not a threat to the public and more information will be shared once available. The U.S. economy grew faster than previously estimated in the second quarter amid strong consumer spending and business investment. The economy notched the fastest growth pace in nearly 2 years during the quarter. According to Reuters, the economy's resilience was underscored by data showing strong demand by business for equipment in August, driven by an AI spending boom and a drop in first-time applications for state unemployment benefits. Starbucks will lay off workers and close stores as part of a $1 billion restructuring plan, according to its CEO. The company will slash 900 employees in non-retail roles across North America. The store closures will amount to a roughly 1% decline in the total number of Starbucks locations in North America in the fiscal year after accounting for some store openings. Shares of Starbucks ticked slightly higher in pre-market trading after the announcement early Thursday morning. The company expects to end fiscal year 2025 with 18,300 store locations in the U.S. and Canada. Starbucks plans to inform employees this week at stores designated for closure. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Centos Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Centos has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Centos.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in, and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Centos. A car was found submerged in Lake Osborne during a training exercise in Naperville Thursday. As of 1:30 p.m., there was a large police presence in the area. The lake is located near the intersection of Ogden and Aurora Avenues by Fire Station number 7. City officials said there is not a threat to the public and more information will be shared once available. The U.S. economy grew faster than previously estimated in the second quarter amid strong consumer spending and business investment. The economy notched the fastest growth pace in nearly 2 years during the quarter. According to Reuters, the economy's resilience was underscored by data showing strong demand by business for equipment in August, driven by an AI spending boom and a drop in first-time applications for state unemployment benefits. Starbucks will lay off workers and close stores as part of a $1 billion restructuring plan, according to its CEO. The company will slash 900 employees in non-retail roles across North America. The store closures will amount to a roughly 1% decline in the total number of Starbucks locations in North America in the fiscal year after accounting for.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, sunny with a high near 88, with temperatures falling to around 84. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 58. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 80, with temperatures falling to around 76 in the afternoon. Currently, it is 87 with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Find what you love what you find. A total wine and more. There's so much waiting waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door, it's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast, right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Newry with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Whether you're working third shift or you're just a night owl, catch the most listened to overnight talk radio program in North America, Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Start your weekend right with Dino's Night Out, Fridays from 2 to 4 p.m. on WRMN 1410 AM. Dino covers what's hot across the Fox Valley, from live shows to food fests and everything in between. Proudly sponsored by the legendary Arcada Theater at 105 East Main Street in St. Charles. Your home for unforgettable concerts, comedy, and more. Tune in on WRMN 1410 AM or stream at WRMN1410.com. Dino's Night Out, your guide to the weekend vibe.
And good day to our friends around the world. This is a political talk show here on WRMN. That's WRMN 1410 on that AM dial of yours over there. And also WRMN1410.com. For those of you that like, those digital screens, maybe you like to listen to the digital airwaves as well, you can listen live there at WRMN1410.com. You can also watch us live. There's a link on WRMN1410.com that'll take you to YouTube.com, where you can find WRMN Radio right there, live streaming Monday through Friday, and even on Saturdays. Well, we got a couple shows on Sunday. Well, at least one show on Sunday.
Yeah. Fantasy Football Blitz with Dave Teese and John Payne.
That's right. I've also got David Teese here with me, along with Rob Russell, of course. Rob Russell served as Kane County Coroner from December of 12 to December of 24, completing 3 terms in office. During his tenure, he is credited with rebuilding the coroner's office by securing resources for a new facility, achieving accreditation from the International Association of Coroners and Medical Examiners, that's a first in Illinois, and launching public initiatives including distributing Narcan kits. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I really enjoy coming here.
It's always fun to have you. And let's just start with what you've done for so long here recently. What were some of the key challenges, first off, in your tenure as the King County Coroner?
Well, yeah, I inherited an office that was plagued with scandals. I mean, it was the previous office holder, God rest his soul. Unfortunately, he was stealing from dead people.
Oh, no.
And was under indictment. And so I realized that I had to kind of change the whole culture of that office.
And rebuild the trust of the office, too.
Rebuild the trust of the office and the employees. Had some good employees, but they just weren't led very well. But yeah, so that was my first major issue was the previous office holder. But then the previous office holder also left me with a budget that just didn't make any sense. He didn't do autopsies when they should be done according to national standards. He didn't pay people correctly, which is a federal issue, labor law type stuff. And left me with a budget that couldn't fund the office the way that it needed be funded.
Well, hopefully it didn't take you all 3 terms to get there.
No, we actually got that done in the first term.
That's fantastic.
We were able to turn it around. I think it really helped that I came from law enforcement. 20 years as a DuPage County deputy, retired as a sergeant. So it helped for the law enforcement and the fire people, and the funeral directors and whatnot. That there was a new, not sheriff, but a new coroner in town. To help create some more integrity.
Did that help you, being a sergeant? Did that help you with your relationship with the coroner office already, and kind of knowing the processes and kind of working alongside with them?
Absolutely. The coroner's office by statute is a law enforcement office. Many people don't know that. They think it's a medical office, but it's not. All the medical portions, whether you're a doctor or whatever you may be, even a forensic pathologist, we have to outsource the autopsies to properly trained forensic pathologists. So that's why it works so well, because I understood the whole investigative aspect of trying to determine the cause and manner of death, because I was a cop. And this is what we do every day. We investigate and we just go where the facts lead us and, just wrap things up that way.
Absolutely. There's a point where you're a leader that you have to know when your boundaries are and where your sandbox kind of ends.
Yes.
Especially if you play around with other people with other jurisdictions and other specialties too, because they know where their lines are. Dealing with unions or dealing with outsourcing or dealing with even just other municipalities, you have to know where that handoff is. And were you a part of some of that handoff even before you became a coroner, just being a deputy?
Sure. It was a different role, but I saw the way that the process works, had a good idea of that and how it should work, and was able to do that. Was able to come in and not have other jurisdictions or whatnot feel threatened by anything that we were going to do. They knew that we were going to work hand in hand, and we were going to do the best we can working together. Any information we get's going to them, and we ask for the same in return. We got it, earned the trust pretty quickly, turned it around pretty quickly, and was able to create an atmosphere where people could do their job and do it well.
That's fantastic. If anybody wants to call in and ask Rob Russell any questions, the phone lines are open, 847-931-1410, 847-931-1410. It's your chance to get to know a candidate at this point. But before we get into your candidacy and running for sheriff, let's continue through the story here, because first you had to clean it up. And once you clean it up, how fantastic was it to get international accreditation? Was that just the validation that not necessarily that you needed, but how was that validation when that came down from cleaning up what you had to what you finally were accredited with?
Well, it's one thing if we say we're squared away, and that's basically what we had for decades. In the coroner's office. Great people. So there were some good people that were in that office. But it's a whole different ballgame when a bunch of professionals in the area can look at your operation and they tell you that you're doing things correctly.
Peers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peers. Absolutely. And that's basically what accreditation is. It's a voluntary submission of your duties and what you're doing on a daily basis and your policies and procedures, and opening it up to this group of people who collectively have done thousands, tens of thousands of different investigations. And they've created a system and a pattern, which is the reason why McDonald's works so well. They created you could literally put a McLizard in there and they'd sell McLizards, right? But it's kind of in the same type of thing, is you want to create a good system and pattern that's based on the best practices that are within the whatever you're doing. And yeah.
What was the trouble spot for getting that accreditation? Was there something that you had to kind of bolster a little bit more that you were already doing, but maybe just needed to push over a little bit more to get that accreditation?
Absolutely. It was the facility.
Oh, okay.
We had a facility that was shameful. That we had people that were coming to identify their loved ones for the last time, actually, except for the wake, obviously, but for the first time we had a hallway to do that in.
Oh my goodness!
It was terrible. Paul Meineke from Channel 7 came in, and I showed him where our show-up room was, and he's like, he said it, "You're S-ing me," he said it in expletive. But we had a better animal control than we had a better morgue. And that's just unacceptable. I mean, on a lot of levels, but definitely unacceptable to me. So that was, when I first came in, again, there was ruffled some feathers, and that's okay. I'll do what's right. I'll ruffle feathers if need be. I'll try to get along with everybody if I can, because I think it's a lot easier and a lot more productive if you can do that. But when you're faced with trying to change culture and attitude and what's best for the people, I'm going to do what's right for them and not try to please, the people who are controlling the money,
I understand that. When we come back, we are going to talk some more with Rob Russell, former Kane County coroner and candidate for Kane County Sheriff with over 30 years in law enforcement and public service. He has led the transformation of a struggling coroner's office into an accredited modern agency. When we come back, we're going to talk about that transition from coroner to running for sheriff and how will the experience in forensic and public health roles inform his vision here on A Political Talk Show on WRMN. Stick around.
Political party poopers got you down? Shake it off and join me, Dennis Sonar Green, every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show, where we cut through the doom and gloom with a focus on America first, constitutional values, and a populist perspective that puts you, the citizen, at the center of the conversation. At WRMN, the talk of the town, we're not afraid to challenge the status quo and bring you the straight talk you need. Whether you're frustrated with the political establishment or looking for a clear, some nonsense analysis, this show has you covered. Tune in. Let's take on the issues together with a fresh, unfiltered approach. Catch us every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN, A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone in your community, or just taking a deep, calming breath when you need it. Nice. For mental health resources, check out loveyourmindtoday.org. At loveyourmindtoday.org, you'll find information that may help you get through a tough time. Things like tips for dealing with stress, how to navigate difficulties like financial worries, anger, substance use, and more. You can also find real stories of how people navigated their own mental health challenges. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to a political talk show on WRMN. My name is Dennis Green. I'm joined by two great fellows over here. One of them is David Tease.
Hello.
The other one is Rob Russell.
Hello, hello.
Former Kane County coroner and candidate for Kane County Sheriff. With over 30 years of law enforcement and public service, he led the transformation of a struggling coroner's office into an accredited modern agency. You can find out more about Mr. Russell at russellforsheriff.com. That's 2 S's, 2 L's, and 2 F's for sheriff. Sometimes people miss that one.
And the number 4.
And the number 4 right there in the middle. So I want to talk a little bit about the coroner's office as well as we transition into the sheriff aspect of it. And part of that is investigations, right? A lot of times, yes, you are the one to notify the next of kin and walk through that process. But when it's a mystery and it's still open, you have to walk a different process with local law enforcement and local sheriff's office. So in your part of it, is it more of a testing type of side, or is it more of a accumulating clues for everyone? Where's your role in the investigation as far as the coroner's office goes?
Well, I guess to answer your question simply is that we deal with the body.
Okay.
Anything that has to do with the body as the coroner. So all the testing and whatnot that has to happen with the fluids of the body, anything that may be on or near the body, is our jurisdiction. But anything outside of that, we have to work with whatever law enforcement jurisdiction is there, whatever police jurisdiction. Again, we're law enforcement as coroners.
And you said you outsourced some of the medical examinations. Do you outsource the testing as well here in Illinois?
We do.
Okay.
We do. There's a lab in Pennsylvania that we send everything to, and basically all of the different counties, the collar counties, and many of the other counties in not only Illinois but in Wisconsin, Indiana, in Missouri, and Iowa. They send it to this. It's a very good testing facility. The problem is the amount of time that it takes to get our results, and they do the best that they can, considering that we send everything FedEx, believe it or not. But it gets there very, very quickly, and they do a great job. But it's just, we're looking at 3 weeks before we even get any type of qualitative, and then quantitative could take 2 months. Like how much of a drug, or how, exactly how much. So, so we outsource that. We outsource the autopsy, obviously, to a doctor who has forgotten more about the human body than I'll ever know. Very good use of funds, very good use of money. So that's what we do.
And part of that job of kind of laying back down the foundation of the coroner's office that you did, you were also looking at, you were running again anyway. You were running to be the coroner again on that one. Now you're running for the sheriff's office. Where have your goals kind of shifted in this? Obviously, it's a different position, but and your core values just as a person are going to stay there. But how has your goals kind of shifted? Are there some goals from the coroner side of your career that you're going to bring over into the sheriff's office?
Yes. As a matter of fact, the sheriff's office was the first political office that I ran for. Back in 2009 to 2010, I ran against Don Kramer, and I lost in the primary by 190 votes.
Wow.
So that was the job that I wanted to do from the get-go. But what happened was the coroner's office became available because of all the issues and challenges that were there. And I thought, you know what? Here's a place where I can come in, I can do some great things, bring some people together, and really serve my community that way. And it worked out very well. But now that was 16 years ago that I started in politics running. And now I see the opportunity to create a totem pole-like effect with the things that have already happened, in the sheriff's office. I think every sheriff that gets elected, I think he or she brings, positive things. And so my job will be the skill set that I have and the things that I've done. I want to bring that and a continuation into the sheriff's office. The number one thing being a forensic lab.
And that's fantastic to add that side of what you used to do and what you've already have brought into the community and kind of give it that extra little push, but from a different position on it. You told the Daily Herald that you were encouraged by Democrats, Republicans, and independents to secede Sheriff Hain on this one. How has the position of being a coroner kind of shielded you from some of this politics, Swig?
Well, I've yet to see somebody come through the office that had an R, a D, or an I in their head. So, when it comes to, I think, to be quite honest, I believe that all of these positions, these service-oriented positions, should be independent. Mm-hmm. They really should be. But they're not. So I have to go with the convictions I have in my heart, and things that I believe. And it's not that I have any anger towards any of the other side. There's a lot of great people on both sides, of the aisle. And
they make it hard to not choose a party.
Yeah, right. I don't play the game. I mean, if they're going to put me there, that's on them. But I don't play that game. I think everybody who deals with me on a professional or a personal level, they know that I am other-oriented, and I want only good things to happen to and for people. I can't control everything, but that I can control is how I treat each and every individual, and I don't just categorize them politically. I don't categorize them with whatever sex they are. I don't categorize them completely just whatever sexual orientation, whatever it may be. People are people first, and I use the thing called SCOTI, SCOTI.
Okay.
And what that stands for, as the coroner, I've seen thousands of people from the inside. Same color on the inside. Okay?
Yeah.
So we are all the same color on the inside. So we're all people. We all breathe. We all are born, and we all die. And that has allowed me to focus on that type of mindset rather than what's different from you than me. I like to look at how are we the same? How's our sameness? I think a lot of us we're so concerned about diversity, which is not a bad thing. What I'm saying is, what about our sameness? There's a lot of sameness in all of us, and I think maybe we need to start focusing a little bit more on our sameness rather than focusing too much on our diversity.
I understand that sentiment.
When we come back from commercial, I'm curious how he went from sheriff to coroner and how he came back to sheriff. You lose your election and you go fill out an application or something like that. So after our commercial break, I have to hear this story.
Absolutely. We'll be right back in just a few moments. We're speaking with Rob Russell, former Kane County coroner and candidate for Kane County Sheriff here in 2026. With over 30 years of law enforcement and public service, he led the transformation of a struggling coroner's office into an accredited modern agency. Stick around, more Apolitical Talk Show coming up after this. If you get a chance, check out russellforsheriff.com, RUSSELL, the number 4, SHERIFF.com. Stick around, more Apolitical Talk Show here on WRMN. Coming right up.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Cintas. The U.S. economy grew faster than previously estimated in the second quarter amid strong consumer spending and business investment. The economy notched the fastest growth pace in nearly 2 years during the quarter. According to Reuters, the economy's resilience was underscored by data showing strong demand by business for equipment in August, driven by an AI spending boom and a drop in first-time applications for state unemployment benefits. Starbucks will lay off workers and close stores as part of a $1 billion restructuring plan, according to its CEO. The company will slash 900 employees in non-retail roles across North America. The store closures will amount to a roughly 1% decline in the total number of Starbucks locations in North America in the fiscal year, after accounting for some store openings. Shares of Starbucks ticked slightly higher in pre-market trading after the announcement early Thursday morning. The company expects to end fiscal year 2025 with 18,300 store locations in the U.S. and Canada. Starbucks plans to inform employees this week at stores designated for closure. Elmhurst School District 205 continues to show improvement in its chronic absenteeism rate, but upper grades still lag behind pre-pandemic times. The state tracks chronic absenteeism, the rate of students who are absent 10% or more of the days in a school year, whether excused or not. For a 180-day year, that means a student missed at least 18 days or 3.5 weeks. Since the pandemic, student absenteeism has risen across the country. For the second year, 6% of Elmhurst elementary schools were chronically absent. That's down from 10.4% 3 years ago and 6.1% the year before the pandemic. A car was found submerged in Lake Osborne during a training exercise in Naperville Thursday. As of 1:30 p.m., there was a large police presence in the area. The lake is located near the intersection of Ogden and Aurora Avenues by Fire Station number 7. City officials said there is not a threat to the public, and more information will be shared once available. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Progressive's Teen Driver Discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver Discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
For nearly 50 years, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Kane Senior Council have been dedicated to serving seniors in DuPage and Kane counties. Established in 1975, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is a volunteer-driven 501c3 non-for-profit organization committed to helping older adults live with dignity. From providing nutritious meals to offering support services, the Kane Senior Council is there every step of the way. With programs designed to enhance independence and quality of life, they're proud to make a difference in the lives of their senior neighbors. To learn more or to volunteer, visit them at 418B Airport Road in Elgin or head to their website at caneseniorcouncil.org. Give them a call at 630-338-0999. That's 630-338-0999. That's the Kane Senior Council, caring for seniors because they deserve to live with dignity and respect. Visit caneseniorcouncil.org or call 630-338-0999 today.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 58. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 80, and temperatures falling to around 76 in the afternoon. Looking ahead to Wednesday, partly sunny with a high near 77, and mostly cloudy skies at night with a low around 56. Currently, it is 86 with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-1313. 800-791-1313.
Welcome back to a political talk show here on WRMN. I want to give a shout out to all of those great people over there on YouTube. We already see Brendan over there, Jeff's over there, Gia's jumping in. I'm sure the boss lady is already watching as well. They're all big fans of Mr. Rob Russell, who we have on with us today as well. We've also got Mr. Tees. I'm sure they're a big fan for you too, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for being in here with me, gentlemen. Appreciate it. We're talking with Rob Russell. You can find more information about him at russellforsheriff.com. We're walking through his experiences of being county coroner for Kane County, and he is looking to be sheriff of Kane County. But you had already looked to be sheriff of Kane County before, and Dave had asked the question, what was it like moving from sheriff to coroner to sheriff? Was there a what'd you say? Was it an application?
Yeah, did you have to fill out an application?
This isn't an Arby's, sir. Like, this is.
Yeah. How did that happen? I mean, you were DuPage County Sheriff and coroner. Now you're a Kane County Sheriff. Why don't you tell us how that actually came about?
Well, while I was working at DuPage, I mean, I did pretty much everything I could do there. I was not going to go anywhere. I couldn't run for DuPage Sheriff because I didn't live in DuPage. So that's when I decided, you know what, I think I want to take a shot and go for sheriff here in the county, because that's where I live. I lived here for 23 years in Kane County. So that's how it happened. I, talked to the leadership in the Republican Party. I said, I'd like to do this. They asked me, what I'd like to do. I gave them a list of all the things that I wanted to do, and it really, it impressed them, I guess. And they said, okay, we're behind you. I think we're missing some of that today, some of the honoring of the people who are in place. And, it just worked out well for me. But bottom line is, this is what God wanted me to do, is that I, like Charlie Kirk, I'm a believer. And, God wanted me to do that. I thought he wanted me to win. But it was funny because one of my good friends, who's a minister, he said, Rob, I got this prompting, and it just said, don't be bitter. And I'm like, everybody's telling me, oh, Rob, you're going to run away with this thing against Don Kramer, and you're going to, he's nowhere, you're everywhere, and everybody loves you. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I won't be bitter. I lost. And now, right then, immediately, I knew what that meant. I knew what it meant right away. And so I stood behind Don. We campaigned together. You don't have to be jerks to one another in politics.
Right.
You don't have to be.
Because it's all about the goal of the policy,
Sure.
right?
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to get the future and the vision that you're looking for, not the position you're looking for.
But actually, I think the coroner position was better for me at the time. It's basically like a micro version of the sheriff's office, because even though it's a specialized office, we deal, with death investigation. It says right in the statutes that the coroner is a conservator of the peace, and that the coroner has the same powers as sheriff. So I thought, well, I could do that. And we did it, and we did some great things along the way. And, which leads to my broad spectrum, at law enforcement, experience. 32 years, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. 32 years. And, 12 of that is specialized death investigation, and 20 is sheriff's deputy.
And a lot of that is all about balance, right? Is you have to know how to not only talk to the general public, you've also got to know how to talk with the municipalities, also the court system, a whole bunch of different ways of kind of balancing that flow of information and that support as well, because you can't go around and just support everybody with every single resource that you have. You have to delegate and still laid out that foundation. How has being the coroner and being able to kind of delegate and be able to know where that balance needs to lie, where is that going to help you as you strive to get the sheriff position?
Sure. I think it's a great question. I'm a team builder. That's the way you get things done, through collaboration and building teams. It started way back when I was born. I'm the last of 8 kids. So I was part of a big team starting right away. So And then, through my high school and that, I was, football, wrestling, team captain. But it's all about building good teams, because Rob Russell is finite. He's finite. He's not infinite. I'm not infinite. There's nobody that's infinite. We all have pluses, minuses, and strengths and weaknesses. And we have to surround ourselves with people that are going to challenge us, but also fill in our gaps, and I'm really good at doing that. I'm good at doing that. You find the people, you teach them, get them the information that they need to make them successful, and you get out of their way. You let them work. And, I hold people accountable, but in the same token, I'm not a micromanager. If somebody can't do the job, I'm going to have to make a change, and we did that. We did that at the coroner's office. We did it, but I didn't have to do it very often, because when you do it right from the beginning, you're able to build good teams, and you're able to collaborate and let people do the job.
Does that help you with recruitment and retention when you build a good team together?
I believe so. We lost nobody. In the time that, the many different other offices were going through people like, whatever, we lost almost nobody, and people liked to work in that organization because I gave them the respect. And like I said, that's not a free carte blanche to do whatever they want. They knew that they had a job to do. And for the most part, they're good people, and they did their job, and when they didn't, we had to hold them accountable.
So how did you get back with Kane County Sheriff? Well, you weren't back, but how did you get involved with Kane County Sheriff after the coroner, you lost your elections onto that?
Yeah. Well, what happened was in 2015, I had this great idea of let's have a local lab. We're sending everything out to Pennsylvania. Why don't we keep some of that money here in the county? And so I knew I didn't have all of everything that I needed, the resources and the time and everything to do that on my own. So I drafted the help, asked for it from the sheriff and, from the state's attorney, and they thought it was a great idea, and they jumped on board. So we were able to work collaboratively together. And with the power of those three offices, we're able to appoint, we knew it was going to be a crawl, stand, walk, run type of thing. We're in the standing phase right now, but just like when you build a skyscraper, you don't realize the amount of work that goes underground. You got to go almost as deep underground as you do up high. So we've done that now. We're getting to a point to where we can have this lab, and it's the number one thing in what I call my blueprint, blue for, the thin blue line, is that I want to see this lab through. It was my idea to begin with. I think I'm the one that's most positioned to see it successful, and it's a possible revenue source for the county. And just name one other candidate who's offering some kind of revenue source for the county. Usually it's more taxes or whatever.
And it's a tangible one too at that. A lot of times people bring promises, right? I will get this, or we'll strive for that, or I'll push for this. But what it seems like what you're saying is this is already a project that has already undergone at least the initial steps, and now it just needs to be ushered in so it can learn to walk and run.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, when I did lose the election last November, the sheriff actually came to me and said, you know what? I want you to help, this project. So I'd like to hire you as an independent contractor to kind of help push this thing along. And that's what I've been doing. So I still am I'm not an employee of the sheriff's office, but I have my own company. And, we're trying to, anything that I can do, I'm trying to move it forward because I think that's what it's going to need. It's the whole activation energy, just like the space shuttle, it dumps 80% of its fuel right on the pad because once it gets up in the air, it doesn't take as much.
Yeah.
But I knew that's the way that this was going to be. And the sheriff in his wisdom realized, hey, you know what? We got to keep this momentum going. I was just afraid that if I wasn't part of it anymore, it was going to die in the vine. And not that I'm great and special or anything, but because I know how to build teams. I know how to build good teams.
Looking ahead, other than the giant project that you're going to be taking with you, is there any other project that you see that the sheriff's office could use a little bit more look at, or maybe a revamp, or something that maybe you might have seen that was happening over at the coroner's office that might need to be fixed in the sheriff's office?
Well, I would know if it needs to be fixed. What I would say is that accreditation for the sheriff's office is something that is doable. And people say, well, we don't really need it. We do things right. People like what we're doing and whatnot. But that's not why you do accreditation. You do accreditation to make yourself more grant friendly so that you can get more federal grants and to also insulate yourself from lawsuits. So, and that is something that is very attainable, and I will get done within 4 years of my term of, if I'm elected, when I'm elected sheriff.
That's great. Also, you are doing a bunch of different other projects with distributing Narcan and leading a whole bunch of opioid awareness. Where does that project end up if you get elected?
Well, we need more machines out there, more of the Narcan machines.
The vending machine.
The vending machines, yes. And the way that I have always found to deal with these types of problems is not to write a check. It's to collaborate with the advocacy groups, because these people care more about this stuff because they know more about it than we do. One of the things that we did at the coroner's office is we partnered with the Kenneth Young organization. I believe it's out of Arlington Heights or Palatine, one of them. And we were able to, get these Narcan machines throughout the county. We got them at ECC. We got them at some libraries and whatnot. And, they stack them. We don't have to take personnel to load them up. They do it. There are people out there doing wonderful things, and we just need to, instead of looking at it as competition, let's work together and let's keep the momentum running. Like I said, people who are doing this in the advocacy groups, they're doing it for a reason. Typically, there's a reason that they're doing it. It's not just something that that they do. It's something that they have a reason to do. And I want to tap into that energy that they have, because we're going to be more successful.
Yeah, the passion of the community, right? There's enough people doing stuff. We can't all do all of it, right?
Correct.
Let's let some other people have a chance at it. So there's a little bit of some misconceptions, and just like people don't necessarily understand what a sheriff does in the day-to-day type of work. A lot of times it's well, let's call the sheriff or let's get him here. It almost seems like the sheriff drives from one situation to the other just to show up with a cigar and go, this isn't my jurisdiction, and gets to leave again. But is there anything that you're looking forward to kind of reaching out to the community and kind of opening up the sheriff's office in that communication type of style?
Absolutely. That's something that I did at the coroner's office. I know people looked at it kind of critically, but we went to all the different events, and we showed up and we told them we gave out stuff. I got in trouble for buying stuff to give out to kids, but whatever. I'll do that any day, because, when we go to somebody's house as a coroner, it's typically their worst day.
Yeah.
And it's good if we can meet them before the tragedy happens. But first and foremost, the sheriff is the warden of the jail. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand, is that the jail services every community, in the county of Kane. So that has to be squared away, and there's some changes that we can make there. There's some great things that have been done. I think Sheriff Hain has done a good job with some of the recidivism and some of the training and whatnot for the inmates. But inmate education. When I was at DuPage County, I was actually on staff at College of DuPage, and I helped many people get their GED in the jail. And with education, that's an important thing. But people have to realize that it's not just about running and gunning, being a sheriff. It's first and foremost, it's about the jail, and that touches every community. That's why every community should want the most experienced person in there. And like I said, I started in the jail. I worked the jail. I worked in the courthouse. That's the other thing, is the courthouse. Look at how much violence is happening in our courthouses today. Yeah. Not Kane's, but just around us. You have to have a good, solid court security to keep the violence down. And lastly, patrol. Patrol is done It's in the unincorporated areas. So if you live in a incorporated area, such as Elgin Incorporated, South Elgin, Hampshire, many of these other communities, municipalities, you have your own police department. But if you live in the unincorporated area, the sheriff is your police agency. So they're the patrol division. So we also, we help out where we can. Like they're on a crash right now over at off of 72, and so we sent some guys, and Hampshire sent some guys, and Pengree Grove. So we all work together. But you have to be a collaborator as your sheriff. It's really important. Also, officer wellness is very, and I don't know if I got time to get into this.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. But, people ask, well, a lot of the different candidates are talking about, being cognizant of officer wellness programs. I'm the one who started that in Kane County. When we had the shooting in Aurora, I had already contracted with a chaplain who had access to many different counselors and whatnot. But that chaplain came to the scene with us, and I said, Tim, I want you there because I want you to look at my people. I want you to see how they're doing. If you see something, you need to let me know, or get them to some kind of counseling or whatever. Because that was a tragic place. I mean, you had 4 people in a room dead. One of them, it was 21 years old. It was his first day on the job. So those are the kind of things when it comes to officer wellness. I get that, very, very important to have the checkup from the neck up, because this stuff, if you don't deal with it, it'll just keep pushing down and it'll come out. It'll come out.
Well, these situations are going to be there regardless, right? That's
correct.
It's a statistical just anomaly that's there anyway. And you want to mitigate that with the things that you're talking about, with having a presence of the officers in these different collaborations or in these different areas, so that they're visible first. Like you said, it's a bad day for a lot of people when people in uniform and the first responders show up. They're not responding to birthday cake. Right. Like they're not responding to the party needs a beer run. They're responding to some pretty desperate situations. And so you're right. There are a lot of candidates that don't always talk about the people that they're going to be leading. They always talk about the community that they're going to be serving, but you're also going to be serving a lot of law enforcement and all of the law enforcement at that side. And is that a high priority for you because that strengthens the community? If they're strong, then we can help them with the rest of the community? Or is this one of those things that we just need to focus on the blue first, and then we'll figure out where the rest of everything falls?
No, I don't think it's an either or at all.
Okay.
I think we can simultaneously look at both. And that was one of the big reason why I said, we need to be involved with all of these different Back the Blues and all these different, organizational things. The National Night Out. We weren't going to that stuff. But I said, you know what? Number one, it's for the people, because then they can kind of meet my people, talk to them and whatnot. But also it allows my people to get to a normal type of event where they're not going to an event where somebody's dead. Yeah. They're going to an event and they're dealing with normal people and they're dealing with happy times. They need that as much as the public does. So it was very important to me to do that. As a matter of fact, in the office, when we built the office, I wanted to make sure that we had something called a quiet room. And that quiet room, my office was the first office to have that. There's others in Kane County now that have quiet room, and it's basically just it's a safe place. And again, I'm not trying to use monikers or whatever, different types of slang that people use today, but for real, for truth, a safe place where if somebody's having a bad day, they can go in there and they can just shut the door, turn the lights off if they want, or just sit there. No TV in there. It's just a place for them to kind of get their heads screwed on straight. And now, if they're there all day, that's an EAP issue.
Yeah,
it's not something that can be fixed.
I thought it was an NAP issue, a NAP issue at that point.
Yeah.
So, Rob, you're out there getting petitions signed right now. Are you done? Halfway done? Do you need more signed?
I can always use more.
Yeah.
I can always use more. I'm at what I'm supposed to have right now, but I'm going to beef them up. Yeah. I like to do twice as many as that are required.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I've got almost 600 now. I think I need 553, but I'm gonna have 1,000 done. So if anybody would like to sign my petition, please send me a private message on Facebook or whatever. We'll get to you one way or another.
Yep. And we got a few minutes left. Do you want to tell people as to why everybody in Kane County should be voting for Rob Russell?
Yeah, why should we vote for you?
Why we should be voting for Rob Russell? Give us your pitch here, buddy.
I got the 3 Ps, right?
Yeah.
I got the 3 Ps. Proven experience. We talked about that. 32 years, and it's broad spectrum experience. It's not just on the road. It's not just in the jail. It's actually all of it. I've worked in the community service, community policing. I've worked the street. I've worked the jail. I've worked the courthouse. I've done that, and I've supervised all of them. I've broad spectrum again. Another aspect of law enforcement is the death investigation. I've done that. So proven experience. I don't think anybody comes close to having the amount of years of experience. These are not just words. I can articulate them and have years and to show them. Proven leadership. I mean, if anybody wonders if I have any leadership, drive over to 37 West. 699 Illinois Route 38 and look at that building. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, we had a laundry facility for a coroner's office. It was terrible. And all of that was done. Now, it wasn't just me. I mean, I had to lead that. But, I mean, we had a lot of people come together and some great things happened. But I have documentable, you can touch it. It's real. It's concrete. And I have a plan. I talked about the Russell Blueprint. The plan that I have, again, this is the 3rd P, is we got to get this lab going. I think I'm the one that's best uniquely in position to make that happen. Secondly, is I'm the only one that has productive or proactive budgeting experience. Because once I got, because see, it's not always just about saving money. Sometimes it's about allocating money properly. And we had to do that in the coroner's office. It was underfunded. Sometimes, it's priority rather than the actual dollars and cents. But, and then the third thing is, reduce recidivism, for people who are incarcerated, because that saves us money. It costs a lot of money to put somebody in jail. So if we can do that while they're in jail, or hopefully get them beforehand, do some proactive stuff, that's great. And officer wellness is the 5th thing. I talked about that with mental health. The Aurora shooting example. So,
well, I hope to talk to you again before the election as well, to just touch base with you and see where you're going at. People can find more information on you and your campaign at russellforsheriff.com. Is there anywhere else you'd like to send anybody?
russellforsheriff@gmail.com. If you have any questions or whatever, I check that daily.
Perfect.
Again, Russell, the number 4, sheriff@gmail.com.
That's it. That's the place to go. Thank you very much, Rob, for being in here.
My honor. Thank you.
I know Dave only promised you 15 minutes, but we wanted to make sure we got the whole thing in here. No. Come back anytime, especially to talk about the Narcan kits. We'll bring you on about that program as well. Absolutely. That was Rob Russell. Find more at russellforsheriff.com. That's the number 4. We'll be back.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 6 o'clock.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Centos. Elmhurst School District 205 continues to show improvement in its chronic absenteeism rate, but upper grades still lag behind pre-pandemic times. The state tracks chronic absenteeism, the rate of students who are absent 10% or more of the days in a school year, whether excused or not. For a 180-day year, that means a student missed at least 18 days or 3.5 weeks. Since the pandemic, student absenteeism has risen across the country. For the second year, 6% of Elmhurst elementary schools were chronically absent. That's down from 10.4% 3 years ago and 6.1% the year before the pandemic. A car was found submerged in Lake Osborne during a training exercise in Naperville Thursday. As of 1:30 p.m., there was a large police presence in the area. The lake is located near the intersection of Ogden and Aurora Avenues by Fire Station number 7. City officials said there is not a threat to the public, and more information will be shared once available. The U.S. economy grew faster than previously estimated in the second quarter amid strong consumer spending and business investment. The economy notched the fastest growth pace in nearly 2 years during the quarter. According to Reuters, the economy's resilience was underscored by data showing strong demand by business for equipment in August, driven by an AI spending boom and a drop in first-time applications for state unemployment benefits. Starbucks will lay off workers and close stores as part of a $1 billion restructuring plan, according to its CEO. The company will slash 900 employees in non-retail roles across North America. The store closures will amount to a roughly 1% decline in the total number of Starbucks locations in North America in the fiscal year after accounting for some store openings. Shares of Starbucks ticked slightly higher in pre-market trading after the announcement early Thursday morning. The company expects to end fiscal year 2025 with 18,300 store locations in the U.S. and Canada. Starbucks plans to inform employees this week at stores designated for closure. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Centos Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Centos has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Centos.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in, and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Centos. The U.S. economy grew faster than previously estimated in the second quarter amid strong consumer spending and business investment. The economy notched the fastest growth pace in nearly 2 years during the quarter. According to Reuters, the economy's resilience was underscored by data showing strong demand by business for equipment in August, driven by an AI spending boom and a drop in first-time applications for state